All rise for the Honorable Judge Jefferson.
Okay, hello everybody. So this is the state of San Andreas versus Carlos Hernandez. Case number is 21-15763. Prosecution, you should read the charges.
The claim, Your Honor, is on August 3rd of this year, Carlos Hernandez did attempt to murder a peace officer of the city. After this attack, he was also found in possession of a firearm belonging to his accomplice, to which the defendant does not have a license. The charges are PC 2102, attempted murder of a peace officer, and PC 3301, possession of a firearm without a license.
Okay, and of your witnesses, how many are here today?
Your Honor, there is one here, and there is one on his way. He will be here in hopefully 15 minutes.
All right. Okay, if you want to just start with your opening argument for prosecution.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
if we may, in regards to this, ask how my client would like to plead.
Oh, yeah, shit, sorry. Apologies, my bad. How do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, start your opening statement then.
On the
What was
3rd
that?
of August,
Sorry. My apologies, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't hear you there.
Is that just going to start with the opening statements now?
Okay.
On the 3rd of August, whilst doing his duty and starting a new day defending the city from crime, Officer Sebastion Smith was helping a civilian gain their weapons license. The defendant saw Officer Smith the accomplice saw Officer Smith open the door to allow the citizen into an area which is restricted to process the license. The defendant's accomplice rushed into that restricted area uninvited, pushing past the officer. Officer Smith told him to leave and unlock the door so he could. Officer Smith did not worry or antagonize the accomplice, as Exhibit A shows. Even when taken by surprise, Officer Smith acted calmly and told the accomplice to leave. The accomplice then struck the officer twice with his fists. The accomplice ran out of MRPD to lie in wait for the unsuspecting officer around a corner, armed with a sawn-off shotgun. The defendant then waited for the officers to leave the building, drew his weapon to join the ambush. As Officer Smith rounded a corner outside MRPD in pursuit, luckily joined by another brave officer whose testimony is Exhibit E, the accomplice, without remorse or care for the officer's life, started to fire upon the two officers. The officers had no choice but to return fire using lethal force. The defendant managed to down both officers, but luckily the defendant was also downed with Officer Covella's last shot. The defendant was found to be carrying the accomplice's pistol, as exhibits F, G, and H show. Luckily, other officers arrived on scene to give medical aid to the officers and to the defendant, who was then treated and processed. The defense will try to give you misdirection, try to produce a picture of a man who was protecting his friend, fearing for his friend's life. How can this be when his accomplice was attacking police officers at a police station? Police officers who are doing their duty and fearing for their own life in a horrific ambush by two men hell-bent on killing them. Mr. Hernandez is a violent, convicted criminal. His previous charges range from assault, hostage-taking, and more than one count of attempted murder of a peace officer. Be under no illusion, Your Honor, this man is a dangerous man who resorts to violence throughout his career as a criminal, and through the evidence, we will show the defendant is without a doubt guilty of all charges. Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Okay, defense, do you have a statement?
No, Your Honor, being as we pled no contest.
Yeah.
defense rests.
Okay. Okay, so if you want to call up your first witness, you can just stand to the right hand side here.
The prosecution calls Officer Sebastion Smith.
Mr. Smith, please raise your left hand for me. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, under penalty of perjury, so help you God?
I do.
All right. You've been sworn in.
Officer Smith, thank you for your
yes, stand
service.
to the left.
How are you feeling today? You good?
Good.
Okay, we're going to begin if that's
Yeah, sure.
okay. Do you recall signing on to duty on the 3rd of August of this year?
I do.
Can you talk us through what happened when you clocked onto duty?
Yes, I can. I just woke up in the city, went to MRPD to clock on, while waiting for a recruit to fly into the city so that I could take him out on a ride along. I had a person at the front desk ask me for a weapons license. There were no receptionists around, so I went ahead and did that for in the middle of it, I had Jeffrey Jug attempt to go into one of the locked doors in MRPD.
Just a second, officer. For the court, that is the man named as accomplice in my opening statement.
Yeah,
Carry on, officer.
thank you. When going through the door, as he said, I politely asked him to leave. Before he even walked in, I gave him a warning. If you walk through this door, you'll be tased and arrested. And he proceeded to walk in anyway. I pointed my taser at him as soon as he walked through the door, asked him to get out. I unlocked the door so he could do so. And I was struck by his fist. He ran outside after that. I chased him around a corner. He pulled a shotgun out and attempted to shoot at me and ended up hitting the officer behind me, Jackson Covella. They were shot down. Both are, at the time, Jeffrey Juggs was shot down for shooting a shotgun. The suspect over there proceeded to shoot me in the back after we downed his friend, and Jackson Covella shot him down with his last bullet before going down himself.
Thank you, officer. I'm sure it was a harrowing time.
Your Honor, if I may object, in the situation here, as I'm a little confused, not objecting to any of the questions from the prosecution as for pleading no contest, I didn't know that the trial still goes on. I always thought that we moved forward to a sentencing hearing.
Bear with me. Okay, apologies. I have never come across a no contest since my time starting as a judge. So, they're allowed to get their testimonies. But obviously, you don't have to cross-reference anything, but we can just proceed with it, and we'll go ahead with sentencing if you wish.
Thank you, Your Honor. Proceed then, prosecution.
Do you respect that's not your call to make? Your Honor, may I carry on?
I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
saying I have nothing else.
Thank you. Officer,
Yes.
I believe you're one of the officers in the city that are opted in to the body cam scheme. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And can you confirm that your body cam footage is that of Exhibit A?
Yes, it is.
Can you confirm also that Exhibit A shows the defendant firing at you?
Yeah.
No further questions. Thank you, officer.
No problem. Okay, so given your no contest, I'm obviously going to guess you don't know how to cross-reference the witness. Yeah. Given that there are no other witnesses here at this time, if you're happy enough going with the sentence, and I can take a recess in my chambers, and I'll come back with the sentencing.
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, you can be seated.
The defense has pled no contest.
Mm-hmm.
Does the judge not reserve the right to deem them guilty?
Okay, I'll speak to that. It's called a nolo conter day, or it's got some fancy name. So when the defendant enters a not guilty, usually if there are any witnesses and they have something they want to say before sentence is given, that can be done. Otherwise, yes, the burden of proof is that the accused is guilty of the crimes that they say they are accused of. And that is when the judge will take a few minutes. However, it has been known, as I said before, that any witnesses can go ahead and say what needs to be said. So that's kind of how it works. It's got a fancy name. I'll work it out later.
Your Honor, if
Yeah.
I may, I believe it's pronounced nolo contendere. It's
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Vandeburg the Fourth. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. So usually, I mean, they're very rare, by the way. A no contest is very rare in a court case. So I believe that at this time I'll hand it back to Judge Jefferson, and he'll probably take a moment to deliberate.
Yeah, what she said. So yeah, gonna give a couple minutes recess, and I will be back with the sentencing.
Your Honor, I do have another witness.
Is he here?
He's just arriving, sir, I believe. He said he would be here by 15:15.
oh,
Okay.
I guess we weren't told that.
You were told that at the very beginning, sir.
Yeah, it's
Well,
at the
he was gonna
beginning.
be a little late. Okay. I mean,
Your Honor, could we ask the bailiff to see if he's standing out the front, please? Thank you, Teddy. It's Officer Stoner.
He did inform that he should be here around 15 to 20 minutes past the hour due to his commitments in Liberty City. So he should be here any moment.
Raiden.
Okay, understandably, you said that your second witness would be here between 15:15 and 20 past the hour, but given the fact that the defense has pleaded no contest, if you're following agreement, I'm just going to go ahead and proceed with the sentence and hearing.
Haugensen?
Yes. Sorry. I guess so. He's literally just arriving. So.
Okay, it's just giving that the defense has pleaded no contest. There technically is no need for the second witness anyway, given that we'll go to a guilty plea. So I'll just take a few moments in my chambers, and I'll be right back.
It's okay, man. They've just decided it's money. I apologize.
All right.
Okay, so in the state of San Andreas versus Carlos Hernandez, giving the plea of no contest from the defendants, we find the defendant guilty on the charges of PC 1202 and PC 3301, giving that the defendant has already done his time in the prison and has already served his fine. The case is adjourned.
Now I'm confused.
Confused how, sir?
Oh, nothing. Obviously need to read up on how this.
What do you say? Oh,
Court is adjourned.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what he said.
Flashlight, of course.
Oh,
I'm sorry, man. I tried to get them to.
There you go.
it is tough. I know we try our best to accommodate Liberty City, but for you, it's almost 1 a.m. So, but he was found guilty, and that's it. He's released. You just need to talk to Edward over there.
The reason I didn't actually make a plea.
What was that?
I didn't make a plea when I was in jail.
You're okay.
I mean, when I was in the station.
You pled not guilty in the cell.
make a
so
plea.
it
Yeah,
makes
it's over
no
now.
odds.
I was just.
No, of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with the outcome. I didn't know why it was so quick. I'd never actually been to court before, so I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of people coming here for like